Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. I want to do a quick reading on the Nova Scotia kids, Lilly and Jack, and just a couple of questions because I feel there's a timing that really something happened. Now, if you're aware that I felt like there was a bubbling energy of something that will happen prior to this. So we're going to pull cards and I'm going to clarify what I mean by this in my first read. And I was held back from saying quite a bit. So what I know lately is that the stepdad says he's taken a lie detector, he's passed it. The mother and the stepdad are still not talking. There's been some grandmas come out. I'm not sure if it's the stepdad's grandma and the bio dad's grandma. Someone let me know in the comments. I know the bio dad's grandma's come out. And I'm just going to be candid because where is the dad? If the dad is, I think the bio grandma said the dad's not been in jail, etc. There's something that she said that stood out to me, and even Daniel said something very similar. Because I've been watching clips of their interviews on like a crime channel just before doing this, but I haven't watched full stuff. Both of them seem to have said something, and it was along the lines of, we do need to find these kids. And it was kind of like, obviously they said for themselves, but it was like, I really want to find these kids. Don't take it word for word. I'm giving you what the meaning was. In the context of the wording, we really need to find these kids. I really want to find these kids, but not just for me, but for the whole world. And I'm like, that just did not sit well with me. I know everyone's probably saying she's telling the truth, etc. That to me says she has an indication of something. Also, this whole thing that Malaya was very different before and she talked to her. Why would she talk to her much if the father doesn't really speak to them? So, just be careful on what you really believe right away. And I'm not saying she's lying, but that did not sit well with me. And then I think I heard it, Daniel say something, well, now they're the kids of the world, or the world's kids as well, so we have to find something along those lines. But I definitely know that it was the grandma from the bio dad side. She said that. I was like, nah, this doesn't sound right. F the world. If they're your grandkids, or if they're your kids, if you're the mother, you say, I'm really grateful for the amount of support I've had and the continuous support that you're all giving me. I feel the love, I feel it all, and I really want my kids to be found. I really want my grandkids to be found. But I don't know, is it just me? Anyone else agree with me on that? So what we're going to do in this one is I'm just going to ask some questions, okay? Again, there's a certain amount that I can't give you directly on what has occurred, but I do want to ask a few things. So I also would not be surprised if the mother has a new boyfriend, okay? Go back to my reading on that before everyone started reading on it, before everyone started talking so much about it. I think I did one of the first readings. And I haven't seen anything else to help me with this, and I haven't seen heard of anyone else's psychic impressions on this either. So I'm fairly a clean slate. I have received a few days ago, but I've just responded. When I say just, like earlier, their date of birth. So I will look at that. But I felt like I've got time now to do some recordings. I need to just park my backside down, and I hope I get 2 recordings out of different stuff, okay? So let's see now. The other thing is I want your feedback on the timing of the if you're a subscriber, the timing, if you're a member, it's very different because you get it and then it's just there. But members, I do want to say that anything that's been members first, and I've given like a few months or a month or a few weeks, I will delete one of them that's already on the subscribers, because I would have given you enough time to see it, the members. But if there's any version of the members or something that's only for members, then it won't be deleted, but just so don't have duplicates. And I don't really, you know, adverts might be at the beginning or interim. My channel's not big enough to make any money. Like if you're aware of English money, over the past 3 months I've looked at it, it's £3.60. I've not had a full payout since I started the channel. A full payout is £60. So I don't really make anything, because the channel's so small and there's the ads are not really there. So let's dive into this. Let's see where this is. So at one stage I thought I heard that they were going to look at this as a different than a missing kids, but I think there's going to be mixed messages around that. I think there's going to be, we are now currently still looking at this as a missing kids, but then there might be some indication, whether it's the police or the, what is that, searchers, RS, I want to say PCA, but it's not RSPCA, whatever the searchers thingy is. Are they from the police, by the way? Okay. So I got that there was surveillance and that they would have been seen. I just want to, so we're talking about the 2nd of May is when they went missing. But I want to see between 8 and 10 a.m. that morning. And I also want to go back, I think they were seen on the 1st of May. Let's just check something. Okay, Spirit's saying stop. Do 8 to 10 a.m. on the 2nd of May. That's what you wanted to originally do. Do that first. So that's what I'm going to do. So I do want to say that I shuffled, and as I was shuffling, I said a different question and 2 cards came out. It's the Queen of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. I have just put those back in because the question, while I was asking about the 2nd of May, on those cards, it was the 1st of May. So that indicates the mother, and there was something that was really fast in action on the 1st of May. Now, if I remember rightly, when I got their date of births, let's just look at that actually. I think I saw that Jack would have been a Cancer. I didn't calculate what I wanted to calculate. And it's interesting because they're both very different energy. No, so 22nd of the 3rd, I think Lilly is a Pisces cusper. Pisces, Aries, Cuspa. And then Jack is a Scorpio. You know, Jack's life definitely has male influence in his life. In Lilly, there's more of a female influence in her life. And I'm not saying that there wasn't a male influence in Lily's life. It's present in the numbers. But it seems there was... I wonder if Daniel came into the picture. Well, what I'm going to say is a bit dull. But yeah, Daniel came into the picture around when Jack was really, really young. Because Jack is the youngest, but he's 4. So, I mean, it could have been, like, what I mean is, I don't know how long they've been together, but Lily, the dominant energy there is definitely female figure. More than Jack, although... Interesting numbers. I do want to calculate them, have a go at like looking at their numbers. Okay, so 8 to 10 a.m. we've got some like faults. Something faults that's not gone ahead, right? It's not gone ahead. There's a Wheel of Fortune. There's the Strength card. We've got 2 major arcanas after each other. May, okay. So I think end of July into August, we're going to see some breakthrough in this case. Towards the end of July into August. There was definitely someone here that was faced with some kind of challenging decision. Then obviously a decision was made, and that caused a trigger of a new beginning. Is April 30 or 31 days? Hang on a sec, Spirit's saying I can ask this one. Yeah. Magician wants to come out. So these cards speak to me. 2nd of May morning. So the 8 to 10 might not be the specific time frame, but there is hidden things here on the morning of the 2nd of May around some endings. I'm just translating here, right? There is something around the King of Cups. Okay. A male figure. And this male figure could be a Libra. There's also another male figure in the picture that was holding on very tightly, and I'm getting to a narrative from Spirit. I wonder who we can have as a as a Libra placement. King of Cups, Scorpio. High Priestess, Pisces. Pisces, Aries, Cuspa, Scorpio, the birthdays we've just been through. The 1st of May, we have a female in a very bitter, resentful, not good energy, very cold energy. We've got a male who is really focused on money here. Really focused on money. To me, the 2nd morning is the 2nd of May. The morning is the hottest spot between the 1st and the 2nd of May. Now, in the first reading, I did say there was an energy just like prior to the 2nd of May. So let's see, is April 31 or 32 day? 30. You know what? I just remembered somebody that does 31, 32 as they like when they're doing readings. So March has 31 days. So we're going to look at the 31st. It's interesting. I've just done a reading on the star card. I'm going to post it on TikTok. On the 31st, we get, I think there's something with Jack on the 31st. And we've got an Aquarius energy here. We've got 2 siblings that seem to be in trouble. Do you know when siblings are like going mad and they're sort of like in, and then they get shouted at, so they're just like standing there giving you this puppy or innocent look. That's there. But there is something that was not straightforward happening on the 31st of May. There's some deceiving energy. There's some stealing kind of energy going on the 31st of May. Still, because I still feel the 2nd of May, the energy is very strong in terms of an ending, in terms of pulling this story together, basically. The 2nd of May morning. Sorry, 30th of April, not and not March. If I said March, if I said that, okay. 29th of April. The energy is giving me really, see, 29th is even worse. Okay. In terms of just a very bad energy. I wonder if on the 29th they actually saw, so their bio dad doesn't want anything to do with them. Did they see a grandparent or a family member on the 29th? If not, they were at school. There's one day they wasn't at school, but I'm getting that the 29th, Tuesday. Were they at school on Tuesday? I'm getting the were at school, but I know that I have to say I'm getting that on Tuesday they were at school. But I know there's one day that week that they were not at school and then they were off. And then they were missing. So, but Tuesday I get here they were at school. And I get the difficult, challenging situation that's happening. And there's kind of like a fight going on that I've kind of won it. But then there's this energy of, instead of someone using all the resources or the power they have in a good way, there's manipulation here. And then the kids arrive home. That's the 30th, 31st. Jack. Something with Jack. Let me just check something. And Aquarius is in the energy here. The kids are getting told off. They play up a little bit, something like that. And something's not clear, but something's happening that's, you know, there's an energy of something hidden. Something's a secret. Something's being stolen. Something's being covered up here. On the 30th. The 30th would have been Wednesday. There's a loss. There's a loss. There's a loss, but there's a hope here. There is a hope. And then we get that Seven of Swords. Wednesday the 30th, right? Seven of Swords. Something was very heavy. Something was very burdened. I feel Jack's energy a lot on that day is present. There's also the rugs here that are quite heavy on the Wednesday. Okay. I was going to do this as a quick reading, but I just want to tap in a bit further. What I understand is people prefer quick readings, like 10 minutes. Oh, I've dropped my essence. Oh God, hang on a second. Something fell through on the 30th, Wednesday. Then we go on to the 1st of May. Is that should be the Thursday, right? Thursday. Thursday, we have the energy of the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the money in the home. What concerns me about this is the Queen of Swords. Someone who's not sat in patience, someone who is not in balance. Not in balance. Again, it's like malice energy that I'm getting from this Queen of Swords in reverse, and deceit. And then Daniel's here, quite fiery maybe. I wonder if he kind of gets an inkling that she might be starting a new relationship. Because this Four of Cups tells me that something new is happening here. But there's also kind of like this energy of, yeah, this is their energy. This is not the kids. So something there, okay. Then we get to the 2nd of May. I haven't read before the Tuesday, have I? Because I felt Tuesday really said something. Tuesday 29th. We've got the Justice card, right? Which tells me we do have an issue with the law here. We've got the King of Cups. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the ending here. So things that we cannot see, but two people know. What was the name? I think I was getting a name, wasn't I, in the first reading? And I don't know if I'm getting either names that there's a B and a J, or Benny's, or I'm not sure if I feel that fits. But 2nd of May, I felt like the energy for these two kids was very dangerous. And there's a clouding energy of lies here. I do think that there's something about, and I think I mentioned it in Dylan Ella's reading that I did on the members. It was just an intro reading, which I think I want to pull cards on the two, narrow down the two things that I think could have occurred. But I get like people from that town or area, or maybe even Canada, that know. As much as the police or Nova Scotia or the search people, if they are law enforcement, are saying they're doing what they need to do, I think some people don't have faith in them. It seems like I get the energy that they've dropped the ball quite a lot in these searches, and quick to jump to conclusions, and the first people that say stuff, and then forget to look at other intricacies that could be happening and occurring. like they could slack a little bit. So I don't know why I get that. Let's see where they are right now. Okay, just check that I've not lost anything of what I wanted to. So Spirit, because a whole plump of cards fell, Spirit is saying take the bottom one, and it's the Lovers in reverse. So they feel they're tied and bound, that there's no choice on the way to look forward on this. So initially they might have felt they've got two options, but now they feel there's only one option to look at, to assess this from, which I presume is maybe a crime. Queen of Wands, their focus is on a female. Hierophant. I think they're also trying to make contact with the school, by the way, to see if there's been any concerns there. I'm also getting that there's someone either tied in with the searchers, or maybe a YouTube channel person who is so adamant on the story that they've got in their head. Justice in reverse. So yeah, something unjust was done, and we've got the Justice in reverse. We had the Justice upright on the 2nd of May. I don't know what order these cards came out, but were very potent. They clearly know that it was a toxic environment, or there was rugs involved. Now I got that in the energy anyway. I think they believe that also that there's two people that seem to be chained together on a story, on a narrative. And they seem to be quite burdened by the searching. Like the searching's not proving to bring any justice. They're not perceiving something in the right way. Okay. I get here that they was also possibly offered some kind of tip that they didn't take and look into, but there's something new that's going to be coming along, and it could be a relation to something or to someone that might give that light bulb moment that they really need to look into. Just make sure I've not. So I asked, I was going to give it 3 cards, and for this card to come out, have they made progress in the last 2 weeks? They have made progress. They kind of know what happens, and their focus is on the family home. But it's taken them a long time to think of what could have happened or what they've got in their mind now. Look, Tower is my confirmation card, but it's in reverse. It's taken them quite some time to get to where they've got to. They also don't understand how, I think, the mother left, which I don't think anyone understands. What can I ask about them? What day did I get the Aquarius card? Was it... What day was it that I got the Aquarius card in the days we just did? It was the Jack day. Ah. Well, bear with me. Okay, so there is an energy of handing off here. There's an energy of money. What I'm getting now, I'm going back to my first reading, and Spirit was like, seeing as I feel they're both in different energies, why did I ask the question together? Now, if I ask the question separately, it's going to take forever. So I do think that there is an energy of that day where there's this card, and we do get the 2nd of May. There could have been a handing off of their, I don't want to say this, so understand it, alive or not, and money involved in that part. I think one second. This is apparently short read. I can't do short readings, so it would need to be like one for 8 minutes, one question. I know that subscribers say they prefer the longer ones, but apparently people prefer shorter ones, so I don't really know. But it's really difficult when you do these readings, unless you want just the one question pinpointed. Let me know in the comments, please. With Lily, something did not go according to plan. The money is more involved when it comes to Lilly. And that could be, you know, oh, I'm also getting this could also be a benefit, a money of benefit that they couldn't get because that they were supposed to get because of Lilly. But I think there's some exchange in terms of removal, which tells me someone else apart from the stepfather and mother know. It would be a wrong perception to believe they were intentionally sold. It seems like a narrative might be that they were sold after school, after that last day of school. Like they were returning home and that's when they would be sold. I get that this would be, although there's a card here indicating this would be a wrong perception. Yeah, so something happened with one of them, okay? And I think, you know, you can't, the problem is with asking accident is that, you know, there shouldn't be an accident of negligence and carelessness and what I can see. So you probably will get a no on that. But there's definitely an intentional element with one of them. So did something happen to one of them and then the other? Remember, I got two different energies for them. We're going to pull this true crime again and see what cards we get. Remember, we're just focusing on cards. I'm intuitively reading with any psychic downloads I get, but I'm not channeling their spirit or energy. Ooh, I got the first two. I can see the first two before the deck's built. Yeah, that card I do. Okay, it's going to be interesting. Those of you that saw the first read, you might be able to see if the cards are the same. Yeah, I remember for Jack we got this, right? Child in reverse, okay? Which means an adult can be involved. If we don't take the reversal, the child, we had it upright. Home. The home that's not in order, it's, you know, something wasn't right in the home, it wasn't balanced, and we get burial here. Now, when this came out, there was one card that I was like, okay, which one is it? The one that just flew out, or I noticed another one? And Spirit said, take this one, which is the home. But do look at the other one, and it says justice. Okay. But what I also get with this, because I'm not sure if it came out in reverse, is there was an injustice. But I think justice is for both of them. Lily, we get cover up, we get lies, and we get a regret. So if you remember, I said that there is, I feel like there's someone who's really deeply focused on this. I'm just getting this come through. What I was saying is they're both in two different energies. Okay, it asks for 2 cards, any 2 cards additional to this space. Social media and healing. I was just starting to say, and I didn't complete it, I forgot what I was getting channeled through, is there's someone who's really, really, I can see them, they've got like, do you know when you've got those spy binoculars that you can see through buildings? He's not doing that, but he's so focused on every single move. I'm saying he, but it could be a she, but I'm saying a he. So he's focused on every little intricacy, and I feel like he is not just interested for justice of the kids. There's some element there where he's got to be right about what he's saying, and he wants to prove that. But also, in addition, like, he's hardcore on this. It's not like, I just want justice for these kids have been wronged. He's like, he wants to prove his story more than the justice, which I'm not sure I like that energy, to be honest with you. Who is this? I don't know. Healing is, what's got to come of this? What's got to come of this? I find healing a very interesting card. And social media is social media, but it's got Facebook here. So I don't know if a lot of activities happen on Facebook. Justice, healing can happen after the justice that comes through. So this was supposed to be a shorter read so that I can go on to do the next reads. And here we go. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do like, subscribe, and let me know, should I split such readings into shorter formats? So if this is a longer read, then split it over 2 days. I'll see if there's a break point where I can do that in this. Maybe that's the way to go about it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.